can provide you with a little bit. Okay, so today we have a super exciting video, one that I've been wanting to film for a long time, probably honestly since I started my channel, and that is my ASMR story from A to Z. Like everything from the first time I experienced it to like now. And I want it to be interactive, so at every stage that I talk about, I will be recreating it to the best of my ability. Because I want you to be with me on my journey. It is super hot outside. It's another gorgeous spring day here in the Midwest. But of course, all my windows are shut and my AC is off, so if I start sweating, that's why. Okay, so we will start with my first experience. I had no idea what ASMR was. I didn't know what ASMR was or what it stood for till I was in college, which we'll get to that. But first, I'm going to take us way back to when I was a baby, to the first time I experienced the sensation without knowing what it was. I mean, obviously babies don't know what anything is, but you know what I mean. So ever since we were babies, and then growing up, our parents would tuck us into bed every night and sing us lullabies and whisper us to bed. And what my mom would do is, during that, when she was singing or talking, whispering, whatever it was, she would touch our face. Just like this. She would go around our faces, touch our nose, our lips, our cheeks, our jaw, everything, and put us to sleep like that. They would scratch our backs. They would play with our hair. My mom would go like this and kind of like give us a little scalp massage thing, just like this. And she would do that while also touching her face. And she did that all the time. Still to this day. If I asked her to, she would. I would just lay down and she would just trace my face. Just like that. And I remember one core memory when I was a kid and I couldn't fall asleep to save my life. I was just tossing and turning in bed. I would have her come in and I would shut my eyes and she would touch my face randomly, so I wouldn't know where her fingers were. I would just touch my face and she'd go like that, and it would just knock me out. So we're gonna try that, okay? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay, are they closed? Okay. So I'm just gonna randomly touch your face. And I would just drift off to sleep. Was that relaxing? I hope it was. So yeah, that was honestly like my first experiences with ASMR, and she would always just comb through it like this. That was not very relaxing, but you know what I mean. Just and that's all the time. And I also like to, you know, to do it as well. Like, I would sit with my dad. This is so funny, but it was so relaxing to me. We would be on our couch watching TV or whatever, and he would sit down and I'd be on the couch, and I would go like this to his hair. Like, I would just comb it and run my fingers through it. And I thought it was so relaxing to also do it. So, yeah, those are kind of my first experiences. And then moving into like friends and adulthood, at every sleepover, we would play with each other's hair and do the whole like crack an egg on your head and feel the yolk go rushing down. Crack an egg on your head and feel the yolk go rushing down. Tight squeeze, cool breeze. Now you got the shiveries. And we would do that to each other. And then even as we got older, like my high school best friend, every time she would come over for a sleepover, I would play with her hair. And I twirl my hair a lot, like just in general. Sorry, a motorcycle just obnoxiously drove by. It's not gonna be graceful if I do it because my hair's all curled, but I would twist my hair and play with it all the time. And then she would come over and I would twist and play with her hair. And I loved it. It was so relaxing. And then another thing that we would do is, again, I have a core memory of going over to one of my grade school friends' houses. And sometimes we would just lay on her bed and I would have her read to me. Isn't that so weird? It's not weird, but it's funny. Like, sorry, that motorcycle came back for vengeance. It's not weird, but it is kind of weird to think about, like a little 8th grader wanting to go over to a friend's house and just lay on her bed and have her read to her. It's just funny, but I loved it. It literally would knock me out. So, in essence of that, I brought a book. Now, I did not know tapping as an ASMR trigger yet, so it's not like she tapped on the book. But how am I going to show a book in a video and not tap on it? This is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I feel like I've talked about it and showed it before. Okay, I'm going to flip to a random chapter and read a little bit from it. I'll try not to spoil anything. I'll stop if it's a spoiler. Okay, let's do this one. Okay. In May, the sandpipers returned by the thousands, flying overhead in a swarm of wings, touching down briefly in the bay before continuing this month that the sky was constantly busy and the air was loud with birdsong and squawking and cawing. Usually, this time of year, Lenny would lie in bed listening to the noises, identifying each bird by its song, noting the seasons passing by, their arrivals and departures, looking forward to the summer. Yeah, so she would read and I would pass out. I think our book of choice at the time, we were in middle school, well, junior high, so it's Twilight. I think she also read Harry Potter, but I remember Twilight was huge and she would just read it and I would fall asleep. We would do other things too, like we were normal kids. We would dance and be crazy. But I just remember we would also just do that. This is also a great book if you haven't read it yet. It's amazing. Okay, so then we're getting into like high school, and again, my high school best friend would come over and I would play with her hair. She would play with mine. Like it was again, I don't want to say like weird, but she didn't even play with my hair a lot. I would literally just twirl her hair over and over and over and over again, but it was so relaxing to me. And then, so we were on the dance team, and I was on the, I mean, she was too, but, so we were on the dance team, and I was at a dance camp one summer in high school, where, you know, all the girls would stay at hotels with the coaches and blah, 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 and you'd learn. It was a dance camp, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so a bunch of girls were in a hotel room one night, and there was one of the assistant coaches was there, and she was doing a bunch of hair, like a bunch of girls' hair, to get ready for the next day, because I think we had a performance the next day, if I remember correctly. Anyway, and she would sit and like, she was straightening everyone's hair, so everyone would take turns sitting in front of her while she was on a chair, and she would brush their hair. Actually, I have my brush. Again, it's not like she tapped on the brush, but I can't help myself, I have to tap on it. So she would just brush all the girls' hair. But then after, she would straighten everyone's hair. And so I don't have my straightener, that would be, or maybe I should have brought it, but I don't have it. Anyway, so she would take their hair and she would straighten it. And I would sit there and I found it incredibly relaxing. Like I could have fallen asleep watching her just do everyone's hair, and like the sound. That sound was just gonna knock me out. It was just, I mean, it was like hypnotism. I found it so relaxing. And she would just do that forever. And again, I loved having it done to me, that feeling. But, like, I didn't know what it was, what I was experiencing. It was so relaxing. I don't know. It was never any other feeling but pure relaxation, pure calmness. is in there, but maybe because it can get turned into this, ASMR has never been sensual, intimate, sexual for me. Ever. Not even close. I don't know why I felt the need to throw that in there, but my entire life, not 1 ounce of me feeling, hearing, seeing, experiencing it was any sort of sensual, nothing. I don't even like talking about it like that because it was the opposite of that. It was like to knock me out, like it calmed me down. I'm a very hyper energetic person, so finding things in life that really calm me down was a new feeling for me. But nothing has ever been anything other than that. Nor when I make ASMR, none of it is like that either. I don't judge people that do, but it's just not me. Anyway, I don't know why I felt the need to throw that in there, but there it is. Okay, so I would watch her do that with everyone's hair, and I loved having it done to me. And I had no idea what it was, but it was incredibly relaxing. Okay, so now fast forward. Now we're in college, and I don't remember. What was it? I don't remember. I think it was my junior year of college. Or was it senior? Or was it after college? I was still living in my college town, out of state, so I wasn't at home. I was still living in my college town, so it had to be. And I remember the apartment that I was living in with friends, so I think it was senior year, maybe a year after. Well, no, I was in Spain a year after, so it had to be either junior or senior year. I'm overthinking it. And I wasn't really into makeup or beauty, but I did watch like the makeup beauty gurus on YouTube every once in a while, particularly Jeffree Star. Not every video. I was never a Jeffree Star fan, stan, whatever, but he put out some entertaining videos. And I saw that, and I didn't watch him religiously, but I saw one day, just, at home doing nothing, I saw that he put out a video, and it was labeled reading hate comments in ASMR. And I'll find the video and I'll link it below in the description box for you to check out. Now that got my attention. Number one, I love when he did the funny videos of him reacting to hate comments because he's funny and the comments were insane. But I didn't know what ASMR was, so I was like, what the heck is he talking about? What is reading comments in ASMR mean? Like, I had no idea. So of course, clicked on it and watched it, and I was shook. It was whispering. It was like he had a lighter. It was just so funny. It had makeup triggers. Like, I never experienced anything like that. I had no idea what he was doing. I was like, okay, so he's reading hate comments in a whispering voice. Okay. And like, I didn't really think much of it. But then he brought out I think it was his mirror, his star mirror. Maybe it actually was a brush. And he started tapping. His tapping combined with his whispering, all of a sudden I got those same tingles, the shiveries. I didn't know they were called tingles. I got the shiveries, the same thing I would get from crack an egg on your head, feel the yolk go rushing down, or from all the hair brushing and all the face touching that my mom would do. I got that same feeling, and I was like, what? It was like a bomb went off in my head. A whole new world was open to me. I was shook. finished that video, and I was like, this is crazy. I'm getting the shivers, and whatever. And I didn't know tingles at the time, but it was wild. I never thought I would experience that. Yeah. So of course, then after I watched that video, I was like, I've got to research more of this ASMR, because it looks like it's a good thing, and I'm getting calm, getting shivers, and feeling really sleepy from it. So I just put into YouTube ASMR. I remember all this like it was yesterday, even though it was 6, 7, 8 years ago. 6. Anyway, years ago. And the first video I watched was, of course, ASMR Darlene. And it was her, I believe, again, I'll link her video below because I know which one it was. I think it was her 100 triggers to fall asleep, or 100 triggers in 4 hours, or something like that. And again, my mind, she had all sorts of triggers and face attention and everything, and I was mind blown. She of course was like tapping on things, but then she took out a makeup brush and she started to brush the camera. And I was shook. I never thought anything would happen if someone put a brush to a camera, and yet there I was falling asleep watching ASMR Darlene. It was wild. Aren't you kind of jealous of people that haven't experienced or found ASMR yet? They get to like experience tingles for the first time and experience that euphoric relaxation. Sometimes I think about that, like who out there is new? But on the other hand, I almost feel bad because I want everyone to experience what I have been so lucky to, and that's pure calm and relaxation from this amazing community. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I watched her video, and kind of the rest is history from that first video I watched of ASMR Darlene's. But the personal attention side, the face touching and hand movement side, that because I still at this point, watching the Jeffree Star video and then watching ASMR Darlene's, I still didn't know for sure that like face touching was a thing. But then one of my all-time favorite ASMR artists, probably my top one, Maddie ASMR. She started a channel, and I'm pretty sure I watched her from the first time she put out a video. But I think this was her second or third, maybe even fourth video she put out. Again, I'll link it below. It was like a spa roleplay. And this is like a year or two into me watching ASMR, not on a regular basis. I actually didn't start watching ASMR on a regular basis till only a few years ago, when I found out about it and found it on YouTube. I didn't watch it every single day or night. I would only really watch it when I needed to like be calm and breathe. It wasn't until a few years ago that I watched it like on a regular basis. Maybe not every night, but like almost every night. Anyway, so Maddie put out that video, was literally like I was transported back in time to when I was 10 years old, laying in bed, and my mom would go like this. I couldn't even figure it out. I was like, what is going on? It's like my mom's here. And yeah, it put me to sleep immediately. It made me feel so nostalgic and happy and calm. It was amazing. So shout out to Maddie for that video, because that's what got me hooked, especially when it came to hand movements and personal attention. So then, that's pretty much the story. I also think, and this is not to get too heavy or dark, I promise I'm okay. I'm only saying this because it's part of the story. And I mentioned it before, my parents had a pretty bad divorce, and I didn't see my mom a lot for reasons I will not probably ever get into, but I was not really raised with my mom. I was raised with my amazing dad. And so when I did see my mom, it was a huge nostalgic calmness to have her, touch my face and play with my hair and put me to bed. It reminded me of when I was a kid, when my parents were together. Which again, I'm not trying to get dark here or get all childhood trauma or therapy. It's a fact, and I'm okay. Seriously, I'm okay. But I think it is part of it, because it brought me back to a childlike state of happiness and calmness and no worries in the world, and all of my stress and anxiety was put to the wayside. And so when I watch face touching videos now, it has that same feeling for me, and I'm reminded of when, once in a while when I did get to see my mom, it reminded me of that, and reminded me of childhood. So yeah, I don't know, it's another tie to my mom, and I'm not incredibly close with my mom, so it's nice for us to have that connection of ASMR. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't know this community, so I'm so grateful to her. She thinks it's really adorable that I started this channel pretty much like because of her. It's wild. But yeah, anyway. So that's pretty much my story. If we fast forward to today, or to before I started my channel, I'd watch ASMR a lot, especially to calm me down. And I just thought, if I made one or two videos, or even whatever, however many it would take for me to make, to help one person. That's it. That was the goal. If one person could feel the way I felt when I watched ASMR, then I did what I set out to do. This community has provided such a safe space your story if you have any connections. I mean, still to this day, me and my friends will like give each other back scratches or massages. I've actually had like I've had like boyfriends, partners like try to like touch my face or like play with my hair, but it's not the same as it's not the same. It's just, it's hard to replicate how amazing like videos from my favorite ASMR artists make me feel, and like that really can't be replicated in real life unless it's my mom touching my face. That will always win. But like watching someone do someone's hair on a video is so much different and more fulfilling and relaxing than even watching it done in real life, because they're ASMR artists, they're creators. So there's just nothing like this community in this world. Okay, that's it. I'll be done rambling. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And have a great rest of your day or night. Take some time for yourself